Merry Christmas, Merry Vlogmas. It is yes, yes, madam. Oh, you want to come and see us, do you? You want to come and see us and say hello, do you? Yeah, you do. Say hello to everybody then. Say hello. Are you going to say hello? Yeah? Say hello. Just had a sore eye, you know. Haven't you? This eye here wouldn't open. And do you know why? Because she was a dirty stop out one night. A dirty stop out, and it was cold. It was bitterly cold. And I didn't know she was a dirty stop out. His lordship forgot to check. And we both thought that she was in the house, didn't we? And then in the morning when his lordship opened the door, what happened? You flew in and gave us hell, and she was going, wah, 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 as if to say, you left me out all last night, I'm not happy about it. Weren't you not? And then the next day she got cold in her eye, and she was like a one-eyed Jack. Every time she opened and came to talk to me, she had one eye shut. And she was going, wah, 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 weren't you? Yes. And now we've been treating it, haven't we? We went to the vet. Well, I called the vet, and she said pick up some drops. So we've been treating your eye, and it's getting better, isn't it? Yes. She doesn't mind being here. She's purring away like mad, aren't you? Are you purring away? And the right claw is going into my hand, and the left claw is going into my jacket. But we'll have to put you down because we've got all those people there. All those people, they want to know what's on the calendar. They want to know what's happening in the calendar. Yeah, they do. They do. Ow! Oh, that claw went in there. Oh, that went right in my thumb. Yes, it did. I don't know why you cats have such sharp claws. This is the Lacala top that I made, and I think I did put the number of the Lacala top on there. It is, I think it was about $3.60 or something, and I quickly downloaded it and printed it off, and it's quite straightforward. So I'm very happy with it. Now then, shall we have a look at the hemline one? It is today, what's the day? The 17th, my niece's birthday. And so I've already sent her a happy birthday card, but there's the 17th. Right, are you ready? Oh, I can't see that. Disappoint play class. Disappoint play dressmaking pencil white. I got one of these last year, so I've got two. Do you know, a lot of these things we'll never get round to using, but I've got a dressmaking pencil. So that's chalky white one. Yeah, dressmaking pencil, it says there. Don't know if you can see. Just that, so that if you lose it, you know exactly what it is. A dressmaking pencil. And the next one is the L'Occitane. And the L'Occitane is number 17, which is it's another long one, ladies. I think quite a lot of them are long. It's this one here, so I'll tilt that down so you can see this one here, and see if I can get my thumb around it. There, are you ready? What is it? You can find out before me. A bottle? A bottle? A bottle? Another bottle? Oh, somebody said, I can't remember who it was, I read one of the notes, and someone said that they had the shampoo that I was telling you about. I think it's this one. No, it wasn't that, it was that one. That one. They said they had the L'Occitane shampoo, the herbal one, and she said it's lovely. Right, so remember I showed you this one, the almond hand cream. If I can get that into focus there. I showed you the almond hand cream. Then I showed you the almond shower gel. Well, this one is almond body milk. Almond body milk, is that? Yeah, that's it. Almond body milk. So we've got hand cream, shampoo and body milk all in almond. Wow, excellent. So let's get to Sherlock. It's called The Last Supper. When Mr. Holmes arrived at the scene of the crime, the old church warden Archibald was lying on the altar. His white choir robes were soaked in something red and his face twisted with pain. Only 4 members of the parish had taken part in evening communion on the last Sunday before Christmas. We're a tight-knit community, the vicar said, still under shock. We have to be. So many members have died recently. I even decided to write my will and leave all my possessions to the parish to ensure its future. The people here need the money more desperately than my nephew Henry, for example, who owns a new house and car. He was just about to point to a nondescript man approximately 30 years old when he was rattled by a coughing fit. Excuse me, it's my lungs. The main suspect was Mrs. Cherry, a loyal parishioner who had handed the communion chalice to the warden. I would never do a thing like that, she cried. Yes, I know I called the church warden an idiot when he had an argument last week, but I would never have killed him. Mr. Holmes waited for her to calm down. First things first, how did this happen? She swallowed. We always follow the same order. Henry, followed by Amanda, but she's expecting at the moment, so she isn't drinking. Me, Archie, and then the vicar. Archie always took a large sip. He enjoyed his wine. He did, it's an open secret. Even before he could pass the chalice on to the vicar, he looked surprised and started to chew something. I could hear the crunching, like eating crisp bread, and then he fell to the ground, gasping for air, and started to shake uncontrollably. Spilled the wine all over himself. Henry reacted first. He jumped over to Archie, heaved him onto the altar and put his fingers down his throat to make him throw up. But it was no use. Who poured the wine? said Holmes. Archie did, just like he always does. Now I'm certain I can identify the murderer, said Holmes. He turned to the police officer and said, Call Scotland Yard immediately. No one is to leave this church. The murderer is amongst us. So you have to wait till I've done the British Isles map before you get to find out who the murderer is. Can you think who it is? I thought by something that they said there, do you wonder if it's Henry? Jealous that he's not going to get any money? Could be, could be. I'm not going to look at it, I'm not going to look at it and tell you. Right, the map of the British Isles. And we are on number 17, and number 17 is up in Scotland here. Turn this around a bit. Number 17 is up here in Scotland. And what might it be? It's on the west coast of Scotland. Oh, it's not on the west coast. It's kind of, yeah, it's just in off the west coast. This is a very famous monster. And it is Loch Ness. And in Loch Ness, there's supposed to be a Loch Ness monster, though nobody has really seen it. I remember when I was a kid, we went to Loch Ness, and my mum and dad told us about the Loch Ness monster, and we was looking and looking and looking, we just couldn't find this Loch Ness monster. So, Loch Ness monster number 17. Loch Ness is a deep freshwater loch. A loch is like a big lake. In the Scottish Highlands. It's over 22 miles long. It's most famous for the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie the Monster. So that's where, it's actually just a little bit in off the coast. Oh no, where are we there? A little bit in. And that's where the Loch Ness Monster can be found. Loch Ness. So now, isn't that good? That was a very brief one about the British Isles, which takes me back to who done it? Who was the one that killed the warden? So here we go. This is Sherlock talking. The church warden swallowed poison that wasn't intended for him. It was meant for the vicar. We're talking about strychnine, which can be fatal above a dose of 20 milligrams, especially if the person is not well, as both of these men were, one due to age and alcohol, the other because of his lungs. The symptoms that the church warden showed in the minutes before his death speaks for strychnine: shortness of breath and muscle spasms. In order not to release the poison immediately, the murderer dropped it in the wine, in a sugar-coated capsule. This was his plan. As soon as the wine dissolved the sugar, the poison would be released and disperse, killing the next person to take a sip from the chalice. All he had to do was calculate the time it would take for the sugar to dissolve. Bearing in mind that the parishioners always took communion in the same order, the process would be easy to control. But he underestimated fate. When the church warden took a large sip of wine, he caught the capsule between his teeth and chewed it to bits. This is the murderer acting for personal gain, not a cold-hearted killer. So he couldn't stand there doing nothing when he realized the wrong person was being poisoned. He immediately ran to help. Quite right. Henry is the culprit. When he heard that the vicar was considering leaving his money to the parish, he planned this cowardly attack on the life of his uncle. In contrast to the poor man's opinion, he was desperately in need of money. I suspect he had put himself and his young family in debt, assuming that he would be the sole heir. Yes, so the vicar's nephew did it, and he did it because he found out that his uncle wasn't going to leave him anything in the will, and he had overspent and was thinking, oh well, it'll be all right because I'll get my uncle, when my uncle dies and he's not well, I shall get his money and I'll pay off my debts. So he was so annoyed when he found out that his uncle wasn't going to leave the money for him. So there you go. That was Vlogmas 17th of December. So I'm going to love you and I'm going to leave you and I'll catch you next time.